Hi, and welcome back to Let's Talk Greater Moncton, the show aimed at helping businesses grow and succeed right here in Greater Moncton. I'm Chad Peters, and I'm your host for this ongoing series. Today I'll be joined by Patrick Goguen, Labor Force Development Officer with Enterprise Greater Moncton, as we talk about the importance of human resources planning within businesses. Be sure to register so that we can notify you when new episodes become available. You can also send us your feedback and show ideas at the email address on screen. Patrick, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Chad.
Now, Patrick, human resources is obviously an essential factor in business success. Can you talk about some of the reasons why that is?
Absolutely, Chad. Human resources is all about people, and people are a company's most important asset. Really, when you think about it, they represent the company in everything that they do. Mm-hmm. They make the product. They build strong relationship with their clients and their suppliers. They ensure the quality of what's coming out of that company. So they really play an integral part in the business. And that's why it's so important to make sure that human resources is a priority in the business.
Now, in a previous episode, we talked a lot about planning and why it is so important for businesses. Human resources planning, certainly is no different. No matter the size of your business, it's important to come up with an HR plan. Can you talk about some of the reasons why that would be important?
An HR plan will allow the owners and the managers to build strong HR policies within the company. And really it's about managing that relationship between people, between the employer and the employee. It's very important to put the HR, the human resources, within every decision they make, right? It needs to be integrated in everything that they do. Mm-hmm. They need to know how many employees will be affected by sales growth, how many employees will be affected by a new piece of equipment. Do they need to be trained? Do they require some new documents to be able to understand how to use that machine? Mm-hmm. So it's very important. The employer, through the HR plan, will also find out when do they need the employees, what education do they need to hire new ones, or can they use the existing resource? And they also have to know, can they even afford it?
Mm-hmm. Now, let's say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm watching this program, and I'm convinced I want to build an HR plan. What are some of the things that I should include?
The first one, and the most important, is the Policies and Procedures Manual. That's really the rule book. So it's the employer and the employee have an agreement. This is how you conduct business within this company. Other areas would be when you hire a new employee, the onboarding process. So you bring somebody on, they need to understand the inner workings, the past experiences within the company. They need to understand the company before they can work in it. Mm-hmm. Any training, that internal training, technical training they need, you have to go through that as well. Performance management is very important. So even the employee needs to understand what he's going to be measured on. And before he's measured on something, position descriptions, the employee needs to know even what is he supposed to do within the business, so nobody assumes that he's supposed to do that job. Most employers realize that they have to put time into it. They realize the importance of it, but they can't find that time. But they have to realize they're already spending that time mm-hmm. with the employees in sometimes putting off small fires. And these types of steps, an HR plan will alleviate most of those issues or those complications.
It sounds like, though, it could be a little bit of a cumbersome process in trying to pull all this information together. Are there supports out there that can help business owners get it right the first time?
You bet. The one that we deal with most often with HR plans would be an adjustment service. The adjustment service is a program from the government of New Brunswick, and they will pay up to 50% of a consultant's wage or fees to come into the business, develop an HR plan, the policies, procedures manual, everything we talked about, and they'll do it with the employer. So it's a 50-50 split.
That sounds like a pretty good program.
Absolutely, very strong. There would be the workforce expansion program, which is paying 50% of a new employee's wage that was previously unemployed. Mm-hmm. So they'll pay 50 cents on the dollar for that new employee for 12 to 24 weeks. So that's very important in the onboarding process. Another exciting one is the Workplace Essential Skills program, and that is really designed to develop the employees' basic abilities to operate within a business. Mm-hmm. Communication skills, reading documents, understanding the documents. And in this one, listen to this, 100% of the program development and the teachers' wages will be covered, once again, by the government of New Brunswick.
Patrick, people that have applied for government programs in the past have come and they've said, it can be a little bit intimidating to go and find out how you get access to these programs. Let's say I want to do this. Where do I begin?
Very good. Enterprise Greater Moncton is the first place to start. Our role is to guide businesses of all sizes through the processes of planning. So it can be startup, it can be an existing business, but in this case, we're talking about government programs. That's one of the things we do, is to guide them through the process of government programs. What can they apply to? Do they even fit in the criteria? So it's a maze of information out there, and it's our role to guide them through it. What we do, the services that we offer are free, they're bilingual, and they are confidential. So everything that happens within our offices stays in our office.
That's excellent. Now, obviously, developing key, competent people and retaining those people are very important for a business's success. Developing a good HR plan is a way to make sure that that happens. Patrick, thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you, Chad.
If you're looking for more information on human resources, be sure to check out some of the links that appear on screen. That's all for this episode of Let's Talk Greater Moncton. Join us for our next episode when my guest will be Mr. Dave Ramdial, Human Resources Supervisor with UPS Canada. For Let's Talk Greater Moncton, I'm Chad Peters. See you next time.